Hello, it's Jang here from jangbricks.com with something on my mind that I need to get off my mind and need to share with the community. And I would really appreciate the help of the community to help share these thoughts even further and get more of a discussion going about some issues that have really been bugging me, and I know that they affect not just myself, but a lot of other Lego enthusiasts as well. I've done everything that YouTube allows to disable ads on this video because I do not want to make any kind of profit off this video. I just want to get the message out there and hopefully get some discussion started. So any help that you can provide yourself, you as a viewer, would be much appreciated in discussing this, in sharing the video, in talking about it in your own words wherever you converse with other Lego fans out there. I've got two major things that I want to talk about, kind of two classes of issues that are closely related regarding sales of specifically used Lego sets on Bricklink and on eBay. Over the past handful of, probably few years, I'd say that I've been really serious into getting back into Lego collecting. I have made hundreds of purchases from Bricklink and from eBay, always sticking to sellers who have excellent feedback, and a lot of it. Feedback as sellers, not just feedback as buyers. And one of the major things that I have encountered repeatedly and with increasing frequency, sellers sending out things with the wrong parts or with missing parts. This right here was just one recent example. The very first small little set from a large box of sets that I received from one seller. I'm not trying to name names here. That's not what it's about. This happened to me repeatedly across dozens of experienced sellers. This is the way this is supposed to be built. And you can clearly see that on the instructions. This is correct, except for the missing sticker. It's very important for this to have a sticker on the top, and this was described as being completely intact and 100% complete. However, this is not even how I received it. These parts are not all ones that I received with this set. It came with a clear windscreen. It's supposed to have a trans light blue windscreen. It came with a clear rear window, opening window. It's supposed to have a trans light blue one. It came with a pair of trans red square 1x1 plates to be attached up here. It's supposed to have trans blue ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things wrong with this one single set. Fortunately, I had these pieces and even period correct window pieces that are aged and everything, so I was able to make this look okay. However, I shouldn't have to do that. Every once in a while, to have a piece missing or for something to be a period incorrect piece but just a direct substitution, that's all okay. You know, every once in a while, it's not that big of a deal. It's going to happen. People make mistakes. But this is something that I have encountered dozens of times, and again, the frequency appears to be increasing, and something needs to be said about it because it's not specific to any one seller. It feels systemic, like used Lego sellers are getting lazier. Either they don't care or they're just not taking the effort that's required to follow up on care for the buyers. You need, as a seller, to have empathy for your buyers, to put yourself in their shoes and know what they want, and know that and understand and internalize the fact that buyers expect what they pay for. They expect what you describe. I've gotten a lot of parts that come in that are horribly, horribly yellowed to the point of being brown, or a set that has many white pieces, and some of them are looking pretty close to white, like these are here. This is great condition. Some pieces from the same set being yellow, some pieces from the same set being brown. You mix those together because they're simply taken from a huge lot of used parts. It ends up making something that looks terrible. It does not look like a single used, aged item because it's a mishmatch, mix and match of parts from sets of all sorts of different ages and conditions. It's not a good experience for a buyer, especially when you spend a lot of money, hard-earned money, to get a bunch of sets or to get one set even. And sometimes shipping can be a major thing. I buy from overseas quite a bit, and the problems that I've encountered have not been specific to any particular country. I've bought from the UK, from Germany, from the Netherlands, from France, from both sides of Canada, from all over the United States, from Hawaii, from various countries in Asia. I've bought from around the world, and the issues have come from around the world. This right here is going to illustrate my second of two major issues that I've encountered. I've actually encountered this one less frequently, but it is just as bad, if not even worse. This is how I received this package here, and I'm not concerned about the condition of the box. I think the condition of the box is fine for its age. It was not described as being in great condition, the box, so I have no concerns about that. This is broken. That's not a problem. What is a problem is that this is how this set was shipped, with all these parts just strewn about, not collected in any kind of way, not bagged, not secured in any way, just open. So these parts in a box like this, in a shipping container, were just falling out left and right. A couple groups of things were bagged. This bag is not closed. This one here, this is an ancient recycled bag, which has all kinds of holes in it. There's no way that that is supposed to hold parts in there. The worst thing is the box in which this was shipped. And I'm not going to name any names here. That's not what it's about. This is about systemic problems. This was, it's a reused box. Yeah, people reuse packaging. I reuse packaging. I've sold hundreds, if not thousands, of things over the past 15 years, including a lot of old used collectibles. This was clearly repaired by the seller before shipping this out. This is old tape. It's left open, or it has broken open. This may have actually broken open during shipping because this is insufficient. This whole side was not sealed up so that if something did go wrong, if there was a snag while things were being handled, there was no backup. So all the parts that spilled out of this as well. It was filled up with foam peanuts. Foam peanuts don't do anything. Foam peanuts don't do peanuts if you've not secured your package properly. So things like that cause just heartache and headache for buyers when they receive not what they paid for, especially if it was a large purchase, if it was a purchase that had a lot of sentimental value, especially when you're dealing with older things. It's critically important that sellers care for their buyers, care for the transaction. There are a lot of sellers out there who do care. I'm not by any means, and at no point have I said that all sellers are doing these things wrong. There are a lot of sellers who do well. I appreciate that. I give good feedback for that, and it's a good thing. But there is an increasing number of sellers in our field, in our community, who serve us, who are us, who are members of the Lego fan community, who purchase things themselves, and they don't treat their buyers the way they want to be treated themselves. And as a result, you get a lot of headaches, a lot of loss, and something needs to be done about it. Buyers, if you encounter issues like this, say something, talk to your seller. Don't do like I've done in the past and just throw your own pieces in there and just swallow it. That's what I've done in the past, which I should not have done because I just didn't want to be a bear. I didn't want to be a burden. I didn't want to cause any extra headache to sellers who I figure are working hard and trying to do their best, especially when they have a ton of great positive feedback and long track records. They've been doing this for years, but that's wrong of me. Buyers, when you are wronged, when you receive something that is not what you paid for, if you are given a guarantee that you're receiving something that's complete and it's not complete, or it has a large percentage of substituted parts that are just not right because the seller didn't check properly, you need to say something, because if you don't say something, then it helps to perpetuate the problem, because the seller is never given a wake-up call, never realizes just what they've been doing and how poorly they've been doing. So buyers, please say something, and don't do it in a negative, destructive way. Don't do it in a way that is passive aggressive. Don't go out to the internet and just call out publicly the names of sellers just to get back at them because you feel wronged. You need to talk directly to your sellers themselves and let them know what's going on, and also give them the opportunity to make it right. It's never going to be a great experience having to get something that is missing parts that you need, and then having to wait for your seller to send new stuff, if they are able to send new stuff, or getting a partial refund. Sometimes sellers, especially for overseas things, they'll just offer a partial refund to try to make it right. But at least it gives them the opportunity to do something, and raises awareness with them that they have done something wrong. And if they receive similar feedback directly from multiple buyers, then they may start to see a pattern. And sellers, what sellers are listening to this, I hope there are some sellers that are listening to this. If you don't do these things, thank you. Thank you for doing your job. Thank you for doing what you're supposed to do. Thank you for shipping out what your buyers pay for and what you describe that you are going to be sending out. But sellers who think you're doing it right but are starting to get lax over time, I've seen a lot of you send me lists, printed out lists from Peeron. I've gotten so many of those with all the check marks next to them. And yet I open up the package and I start to build the thing, and not all those parts are there, or some parts have been substituted with things that are not legitimate substitutions. I'm not talking about different versions of the same part over time. I'm talking about completely different colors, completely different parts, or just missing parts. And guys and ladies, you've got to do better than that. The problem is getting worse. I can say that as a general statement because I have made so many purchases from so many places, from different parts of the world, from eBay, from Bricklink. It's not an eBay problem. It's not an eBay seller problem. It's not an inexperienced seller problem, because I very rarely buy from inexperienced sellers. I almost always buy from very experienced sellers who do a lot and have a lot of feedback. The problem is still there. So I would appreciate any folks who want to discuss this, again, who want to bring it up. If anybody out there listening to this is in user groups, if you can bring it up at a LUG meeting. If you're a member of forums, if you can share this and or bring it up, discuss it with other folks. YouTube is my main medium. I have a limited bandwidth to participate directly with the Lego community because I do so much work to put out the videos themselves. It does not leave me room to participate in forums much, or other forms of communication. So this is my main method of communicating. I hope that this helps. I hope that this helps to raise awareness. And from now on, as a buyer, I will try to go out of my way to go through the extra process and the extra pain and the extra headache of directly tracking down each seller that has done something wrong, that has sent out something that is incorrect. And I will try to bring it up with them directly and try to work on addressing the problem with the individual sellers. But there's still a systemic problem that needs to be worked on. If you have any thoughts about this that you would like to share with me or with other viewers of this video here on YouTube, please feel free to down in the comment section. Obviously there's a lot said here. It's something that's really important to me, and I think is important to a lot of folks. So thank you in advance for your feedback. I will try to be interactive with you guys and gals as much as possible. And thank you for watching this video. I'll be talking to you again soon.